second half. This is the half with puppets. Okay, so this is the half with puppets. We have a shark puppet, and what I'd like to do is I would like to pretend that this shark puppet is singing this next song. Okay, are we okay with that? A little bit of suspension of disbelief there.
Do we get a choice?
You absolutely do not get a fucking choice in any of this or any of. I don't even get a choice. My ADHD is just riding me through the whole thing.
It's not a baby shark,
Okay.
is it? Can you accept that heckle because we haven't got the hat on?
I can't. Hang on one sec. Yeah, put the fucking hat on.
Is it a baby shark?
It's not a baby. It's not a baby shark, and I am glad I brought the heckle out now because she's a shark. I know she's often branded a menace to society, even though it's unfounded. She's an apex predator. It's part of her nature. Oh, I just like swimming around with my missus. She's the greatest being amongst all of her fishes. She does things to my dorsal fin. I'm the happiest I've ever been.
That's why we don't do drugs.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm taking a selfie. It's going on Finstagram. So please don't overfish the Pacific Northwest. She got caught in your nets. She's Jaws. Do 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 do. She didn't mean to gnaw you with her sharp teeth, but you guys look like seals from underneath. I looked into her eyes and all I saw was blood, 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 blood. I bet you felt real tough sat upon your mast. You could have just let my girl swim past. Instead you went and opened fire. And in the film, Brody sits on the mast, the sinking mast, and he takes aim at my girl who's swimming in to say hello. And he shoots, bang, 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 and the third shot hits the oxygen canister she was carrying because he can't breathe underwater, so she was trying to help him. It hits the oxygen canister and the armor-piercing bullet goes through and poof.
It's a puppet.
You're only crying because it's a great wife.
So please don't overfish the Pacific Northwest. She got caught in your nets. She was Jaws. And she was bad. Good energy. Alright, yeah, who knows? Hopefully not some things I don't. Okay, so how are we all feeling? Do you have a good break? Woo! I didn't, because I was trying to come up with what I'm going to do in this second half. This is the second puppet of the second half. He's a beaver. He's called Justin.
Oh.
Justin Beaver. I didn't have longer than 12 minutes, that's all of that bit. Alright, did anyone think of any good heckles during the break? Did anyone think of any good ones? Because you're only going to get a 3-second pop when I put the Brexit hat on, okay? The new heckle hat, the Brexit hat, the reform hat. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Get your haircut.
Get my hair cut. Again, coming from a man who you would cross the street to avoid in case he offers you to look at pictures of his dog. I didn't even get that one out. Offers you water.
Cancer!
Cancer?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking of things that's funnier than this.
Fucking hell!
Have you ever had nits?
I have actually the other week. It was horrible. It was absolutely fucking up. My niece brought it home from school, and then just, you know, I want a big hug, Uncle Alex, and no, give a big hug, and then I ended up with this. Because, sorry? Why was I sleeping with my niece? Right, that's coming off. Fuck that. Fuck that. I want to.
Have you ever had crabs?
You know, when you've got a body like mine, pubic lice are exactly the same thing as like head lice. Do you know what I mean? They just travel up and down like a fucking elevator.
Just crawl upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. We're moving away from pubic lice. That guy said the entire time he's just peering through the window like pubic lice. Is that what we're doing in here now? Okay. Let's do some prop comedy. Why'd you do that? It's the bemused triangle. Right. What I do like to do is I try out lots of different jerks when I do these roasting things.
What?
Lots of different jerks. I don't know what the accent is. Who cares? But I do try out loads of different jokes. And what I would like to do, right, is a really simple game. It's called the numbers game, right? Are you guys familiar with the concept of numbers? No, okay. Well, it's dead simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to pick a number between this one and this one, and if you really want, you can pick one of the ones that I've said to make it really easy for you, okay? Yeah? Question?
Does that have to be a whole number?
You can pick whatever number you want and you see what I come out with, because in reality, I've got no idea what I'm coming out with, but that's what we're going to do, okay? Right. Oh, it's gone everywhere. Right, so this is the roll call. This is the roll call of jokes. This is all the shit that I've written in the last couple of weeks, and let's just see where we go. So obviously you're going to pick a shit number for me, and that's fantastic. So we'll go to the lady at the back there instead. Could you pick me a number between 1 and 10? 8. Superb. You can go there. You can go to page 8. That's where we are. Whenever I make you breakfast in bed, all I want is a thank you. None of this, what are you doing in my house shit. Alright. Gentleman at the back who asked me why I was sleeping with my niece, she's fit.
Sexy kids.
Sexy kids in the upstairs. That's the problem. No. No, we're not going down that route. 7. Excellent. I hadn't given you 2 numbers to pick, but you've just yelled 7 out anyway. That's 7, 9, fuck! Right, okay, let's go. Number 7, Amazon delivery driver. He knocked on my door earlier and he said, I've got a package for your neighbour. Well, you've got the wrong house then, dickhead.
Very good.
Alright, 1. Wait, right, I have to pick 2 numbers. He needs to pick between. Right, but we'll go with 1. We're still on that same thing. We're 1. What's the happiest country in the world?
England.
Tahiti. Tahiti, Jesus Christ. Alright, gentleman at the back who is the only audience member I don't know, not you, Gary. Actually, no, to be fair, me and Gary did work something out, right? So the name Gary is dying out, right? It is dying out. There's going to be no more. There's been no Garys born after like 1990 or 2003, we can't decide, right? There's no Garys born. Now that means at some point there will be the penultimate Gary and there will be an ultimate Gary. And this Gary is going to make sure it's him. The Gary. Because I'm going to bring him a diet of Garys to fight on, weaker than him until he gets stronger and stronger, until he can fight the ultimate Gary, which is Gary Glitter. As he knocks the fuck out of Gary Glitter. Okay. Gary, do me a favour. Could you pick me a number between 87 and 910?
88.
88, good choice. That's a solid choice. What do you call a filmmaker who's tired of his craft? Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh!
Hey, lads. And what we'll do is we'll do one more. Mike, pick me a number between 9 and 10.
9 and a half.
Don't like it, fuck it. Right, I'm done with this, but what I'm not done with is acts for this night. I can't even fucking speak. Acts for this night. I would like you all to welcome to the stage a good friend of mine and a very, very funny man. He's come all the way from Newcastle. That's further north from here. Yeah. All the way down. I did say I was paying him. I'm not. But please welcome to the stage, Mr. Matthew Wheelwright.
Alright, hello and well.
Hey.
Lovely stuff. So, I've always done comedy before doing comedy. I used to be an entomologist. Ooh. And if you don't know what that means, I had very few friends as a child. People don't want to hang out bug kid. Gives you a lot of weird pet peeves though. A lot of weird pet peeves. For instance, I have a thing against wood lice now because people just keep asking me about them. Now, do I get annoyed because technically they're crustaceans and not insects? No. I'm not a pedant. I just get annoyed because people keep asking about wood lice, but they fail to consider like could lice or should lice. I also get really annoyed because entomology gets a lot of shtick for being like a really boring science, and I blame the people involved because they'll do things like turn up to open mic nights with really niche material. But I also blame the taxonomists. Like, if you think about it, like taxonomy is a science where you could arrange anything any way you wanted to. Like, it's completely random, doesn't really matter. Like, you could do it in any way they wanted to. So the taxonomists, what they've done is they've arranged it by relatedness, which is academically sensible, but let's be honest, it's quite route one. So I'm trying to change it up a little bit because I don't know if you know this, there are 12 orders of arachnids in the world, and as I say, they're arranged quite boringly. So I'm coming up with different ways of doing it. So at the moment, my favourite is arranging them by the likelihood that they're going to be a relevant answer to a survey. Have a bit of fun with it. So obviously got number 1, tick. You got number 2, might. All the way down to number 12, ricingulid. Try it yourself. Have a bit of fun with it. Treat yourself. Why not? You can arrange it by a spider diagram. Just have a go. But no, it is sad because, much like Gary's, taxonomists are also dying out. There was an article in the Guardian the other day, and it was really depressing because this guy was going through the hardships of being in a science. He's devoted his life to it, and no one's coming in, everyone's leaving. All the old people are dying off, and he was talking about this horrible time he had at a conference where he was crying about it over his beer. And what the Guardian chose as the headline for the quote was, "I love midges because I know what their hearts look like." Which, let's be honest, does not make it seem like an enticing field. It's just you could be my colleague, we could go on little trips together, in the woods, alone. Be a terrible time. One thing you quickly learn as an entomologist is how skilled your family and friends are at photography. Because often they want to know what a bug is that they found, and what they'll do is they'll send you an inscrutable smudge and go, "What is it?" Well, I think it's out of focus. Good. You're probably wondering, what's your favourite bug? Or what's the coolest bug? Sorry, not my favourite, obviously not. The coolest bug... Listen, I've only been on stage 3 minutes, that's deep material. The coolest bug, it's got to be the ice crawler. It has got quite a sad life though, because it's very sensitive to changes in temperature. In fact, it's so sensitive, the warmth of human touch is enough to kill it stone dead. And what's even worse is that there are people who suffer from the same condition. Or at least that's what I tell my mum when I go home for Christmas alone again. I'm obviously kidding. In some circles, I'm considered adequately fuckable. I used to go to the conferences, and all the people say I'm pretty fine for a fly guy. Oh, thank you very much. Lovely stuff. I don't know if you know this. Japan has a much better relationship with bugs than we do. In fact, they used to sell beetles in vending machines, in the 90s. Found another Guardian article about it, and you can tell it's from the 90s because there's a quote in it. A critic of the practice said, "We have to remember that beetles are not Tamagotchi." And if there's ever a statement from its time, it's that one. But obviously, that would never catch up in the UK because we're a nation of animal lovers. We have rules and laws and protocols and tests to make sure that we're fit to keep an animal. We'd never give you one just out of a machine. You'd have to at least hook a small plastic duck from a fair first. You got to make sure that you can do these sort of things. What else have I got written down here? There's a kind of arthropod called a springtail. Bounces around on an organ called a furcula. It's quite like the word furcula. Makes me think of a horny vampire. To be fair, in modern literature, the majority of vampires are horny. I don't know why, it's just a cultural trend. There's loads of people out there who just want to be feasted on by Dracula, but then a mosquito will come over and they'll swat it away. I think that's very hypocritical. I think, you know, God forbid a girl be a small fly and not landed gentry. I think that's the reason for it. Or maybe it's because malaria is a lot less sexy than undeath. Could be the reason. Click beetles. Yes, I'm going to do the whole thing on bugs. Click beetles are named because of the sound that their back makes when it moves it in a particular position, which makes it the most relatable beetle for over 35s. That's caused by like an interesting biomechanical mechanism, not just like poor lumbar support. Keep going with this. Butterflies, I don't know if you know this, butterflies have taste in their feet, which is why you never see them in Crocs. But you know, insects do have very interesting sensory systems. There's a kind of fly called Perisoma fuscum, which has 4 eyes, which meant it had a terrible time at school as well. But no one's looked at the system, no one's looked at it, no one knows what they're for. Like, I reckon, right, I'm going to have to speculate because obviously it's an untested field. I reckon the 3rd eye, obviously for auras, makes sense because they live on like mushrooms. And the 4th eye, I think people just fear what it could perceive and just realise that, you know, maybe they shouldn't look into it too deeply. Not just that, mantises also have really cool visual systems. In fact, the name mantis comes from the ancient Greek word for prophet, which is, you know, really like quite favourable for them, I guess, the fact that they think they could see in the future. Demonstrably untrue, because they'd never take a girl home otherwise. I mean, if you're not familiar with why that is, female mantises are sort of the opposite of a generous lover. They'll never give head, but they will certainly take one. But they actually can see in 3D, much like people. They tested this with like tiny cinemas, where they just showed mantises films with like 3D goggles on and saw that they were acting in a way that meant that they had 3D vision. I reckon the film that they were showing them was Eat, Pray, Love. But then they got the message confused and now they just pray, eat, love. Good. Good stuff. Right, bombardier beetles. Bombardier beetles. That's actually my favourite book. I just have that written on my hand just because I got distracted with what I was going to say. But what I was going to say is that there are beetles that there's not just like straight insects. In 1834, a researcher in Germany documented the first case of homosexuality in insects by drawing 2 male beetles having sex in what would then become known as a terrible breach of privacy. And if you're wondering what species it was, really pleasingly, it was the cockchafer. So we can assume it was vigorous. Good. But there's actually a lot of like sexy stuff going on in the insect world. Didn't want to say it that way. Just came out like that. But there's a kind of fly called a dance fly, and the way that it attracts a mate is by dancing. Makes sense really based on the name. I think it has alternative like reasons for it as well. I think it helps them like stave off like fire attacks. Because I don't know if you know this, all dancers are fireproof, right? They'll never burn. They just cha-cha-cha. Oh, it's a corona. I mean, to be fair to them though, it is really sort of like really spectacular that they can dance with so many legs. Because I don't know if you know this, the more legs you have, the harder it is to dance. That's why you never see worms at dancing competitions. They're all disqualified. And they've only got the one dance move as well. I don't know if you remember this actually. ABBA wrote a song about it. Do you remember? Dancing worm, you've got no feet, so it's just a squirm. Dancing worm, I love to count it, but the rules are firm. Oh yeah, you can't dance, you've got no legs, now you are disqualified. Ooh. Dancing worm, loser's dream, commits suicide. It was terrible. He used his own body as a noose. It was awful. With that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you very much. You've been lovely. Fucking dancing.
Fucking hell. That was Matthew Wheelwright all the way from Newcastle. When's your next show, Matthew? maybe Monday in Leeds. So if you're in Leeds, maybe on Monday, you might catch him. We don't know where. He could be doing it anywhere. Maybe Times Square. But that was good. That was cracking.
You have to do words.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
No, don't worry about it. If you talk amongst yourselves, quite like it. Lucas is fucking leaving. Like he's like, you're on for 2 minutes. Fuck that, I'm done. But actually, I'm not going to be on for 2 minutes because this is a serious time for serious people. What I'd like to bring on is another act for you. Okay with that?
Great.
Thank fuck for that, because I ain't got any jokes. Please welcome to the stage, Ali.
Oh my god, thank you for your misplaced optimism. Oh my god, this isn't going to go well. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Before I start, I have to apologise for the way I sound. Not that. Move that way from there. Thank you. No worries. I have to apologise for the way I sound. I've recently gotten over a pretty bad case of being from the south. So it's terminal, yeah. Nothing I can do about that. No, it was I recently had a case of the common cold, and I think with enough time they can save up enough germs to become the middle class cold. You know, sort of buy some property, infect maybe a sort of body that went to private school, maybe someone that you sang about in one of your songs. I think so, because at the minute, sort of infecting my body is sort of the equivalent of like squatting in an empty council flat, you know. My white blood cell enforcers are coming to collect the rent. And let me tell you, the local authority is not interested in fixing the plumbing issues. What have I got written on out here? Yeah, so I've sort of had this cold for a while, and I try and warn people about it if I'm interacting with them. Saying, sorry, I've just got a cold. Oh, you know, don't worry, something going around, isn't there? Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit sick. Oh, yeah, no, something going around, isn't there? Everyone always says that, and I am petrified of the time when I tell someone I've got a cold, and they go, why? There's nothing going around. You absolute fucking weirdo. Patient zero. That's alright, we'll keep that, I guess. This is a bad joke, warning you, so if you laugh extra loud, that will really make me love you. If I'd have gone viral on TikTok while I had a cold, I could have been a social media influencer. Yes! No, I don't need that anymore. Good. Yeah, so I'm Ali. Hello. My dad is a Northern Irish Protestant and my mum is an English Catholic, which makes me a sort of human Good Friday agreement. Which, you know, I think works because I'm a product of the late 90s. I break down at the sign of any conflict. And I'd like to call my IBS symptoms the troubles. Because I'm pretty sure I could evacuate a city centre with some of the bombs I'm dropping. Like I said, no one's interested in fixing the plumbing. But yeah, you know, bleh. Good. My dad would love this actually. He loves pubs like this. He loves to drink. My dad, my Northern Irish dad. He you know, would drink anything, sort of a glass of wine or a pint of wine. He just loves wine. That's not a joke. He just loves wine, and I think that's funny. My dad actually, he actually sent me a text the other day. It was quite odd timing, to be honest, because it was right at the stroke of midnight, and I was nearly finished.
Fuck.
We've got to stick together, man.
Thank
We've got
you
to
very
stick
much.
together.
I love it when I say joke and the only reaction is fuck. You can't even finish the swear word. Oh man, the text thread, if you're curious, the text thread, don't worry son, there's plenty more fish in the sea. I should add actually for context that I've recently been dumped. Oh. Thank you. By my fish. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess you could say that we were going through a bit of a dry patch. You could say the relationship was floundering. She didn't like the fact that I kept calling her a fish in the comedy sets, which is absolutely 100% a human. Ooh.
Yeah, no, she didn't like that. I should definitely stop doing that. Also, the midnight wanking probably didn't help either. It's a thinker, you know. So yeah, I don't really know what to do. I guess I need to sort of find another relationship now, but I'm quite insecure. I don't feel very particularly manly, you know. Like I'm not into sort of traditionally manly things. I don't know, like cars. Like I thought that Aston Martin was one of the members of JLS. And like what else? I don't know. Like football. I'm not into football. I thought that Aston Villa was where he lived. So you know, I don't really know what to do. One of my friends suggested I get an FWB, which if you don't know what that means, it stands for fish with friend with benefits. Friend with benefits. Really need to stop doing that. But I don't know if that's for me really. Basically, it's when you are friends with someone and you also have sex with them. And like, don't get me wrong, I guess the sex sounds nice, but I do draw the line at having to socially interact with anyone. Not my thing really. I think it goes to show that old saying is true, you know, give a man a fish and he'll be in a relationship with her for 7 years. Teach a man to fish. Please, someone please teach me to fish. It's for 7 years. I don't know where any of the fish are, I don't know how to fish. Oh. God. I think that it's for the best that we never had kids ultimately. Because of course they would have been horrific mutants. But also the sort of one of the things that I think is most important about having a kid is deciding what to call it, and I wouldn't know what to call it. I know some people go with the whole sort of name your child after where they were conceived type gambit, right? So you might get a kid called London, or you might get a kid called Brooklyn, or you might get a kid called like Mercedes or something if you had a particularly fun night. I wondered how my parents decided to name me. I rang my mum up and she went, "Oh, you know, you don't need to worry about that, Ali." There we go. One more time for Ali. Excellent. And 2 people fucking leave. Fantastic. Obviously you're on about fish before. Yeah. Like, but it was a metaphor for people. But I will talk about fish. Like, how do fish get discounted travel? I don't know. Use an Oyster card. They'll scan it. And not all of them are going to be good, if I'm totally honest. But I am somebody who does try and sort of like attack and like draw comedy out of the weirdest sort of subjects. You know what I mean? I really enjoy that. That's why I enjoy your set. I enjoy anything that's a bit abstract and out there. You know, let's try something. Let's draw out the darkest parts of the human fucking soul and let's put it onto the sort of like, let's put it onto the stage. Let's do it. Let's make people laugh, shall we? That's what I like to do. So I like to think of myself as a comedy innovator in that point. In the fact that I've been writing jokes about high precipitation, rainforests, equatorial climates. Yeah. I'd like to welcome you all to the world of tropical humour. There we go, that's the keep that little stamping going, keep a little clapping going, and let's go for the stage, Josef!
If you'll humour me, my first time here, our first time here, and it's actually been really nice, and not that I thought it weren't really, but really nice. But if you will permit me on the, this isn't part of the set, just in the spirit of crap jokes, shit. Two birds on a perch. One says to the other, "Can you smell fish?" Thank you. Alright, I'll go for another one then. 2 snowmen in a field. One says to the other, "Can you smell carrots?" I just like kids' jokes. I don't know why. Sorry, yes, so I'm Joseph. Actually, it's Josef. It's Josef. And so, yes, I am an immigrant from Rotherham. But in all seriousness, these lights are doing my boxing. But no, in all seriousness, I am from Czech Republic, or Czechia, and I realised that you don't actually get much Czech-themed comedy, or people don't tend to know about it, maybe Poland and Romania and stuff. But, so I just thought I'd give you a couple of bits of stuff about Czech, if you'll allow me. So one of the big things that you'll be aware of, but maybe not know, that's from Czech Republic are Skoda cars. Yeah, well, so I saw a couple chuckle, well, I think I did, Kelsey. So, and I think most of us are of an age where we remember Skoda in the 80s and 90s, and the general opinion is...
Shit.
Shit, yes. Now, you might not know that Skoda is actually the name of the bloke who created the firm, but in Czech that also means damage, which is quite ironic, and hurt. And if you say Toje Skoda, that actually means what a pity, which I just thought was beautifully ironic. And despite what just happened not 2 minutes ago, I will persevere with crap Skoda jokes. What's the difference between a Skoda and a golf ball? A golf ball can be driven 300 yards. What's the difference between a fat lass and a Skoda? You won't want your mates catching you in a Skoda. And finally, what's the difference between a Skoda and a tampon? A tampon comes with its own tow rope. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, so just a little bit about Czech there. So Josef, Josef, you'd expect, I mean, front row, we're not exactly the most culturally sophisticated set of people, and any reason to take the piss out of someone is normally grabbed upon. But actually, weirdly, at school, I never got a nickname or take the piss out because of my weird name. I mean, I did get Giacomo Joe, for obvious reasons, you know, when my BMI caught up with my waist size. But that all changed in 2008. And it was nothing to do with the big financial crisis or anything like that. And I just realised that 2008 people could actually drink that were born in 2008. And I have to sometimes remind people of what actually happened. But what happened with Josef Fritzl? Yes, exactly. So all of a sudden I've got a fucking nickname, haven't I? Yes. So my mates decided to call me Fritzl everywhere we went, which was obviously really nice of them. Just to explain and remind people that don't remember, Josef Fritzl in 2008 was caught having kept his daughter Elizabeth captive in a bunker, a secret bunker that his wife didn't know about, and kept his daughter Elizabeth captive for 24 years without anyone noticing. But don't worry, we're on the case. If the McCanns can keep Madeline away for another 6 years, we'll get the hide and seek championship back. So, you know, we're going good. Fritzl. And I'm getting that shouted across the pod. But you think, right, that kind of story comes and goes. It doesn't necessarily stay in the news for an awful long time. But the resourceful little shits then went and checked up how many other Josefs there are, Josef, and I'm in good company. So you might have heard of Joseph Stalin. Yeah. Killed roughly 40 million of his own people. Yeah, you know, Putin's doing a good job of fucking over Russians like he is, but he's way off 40 million as yet. Josef Mengele. Again, for those that don't know, he was the angel of death. He was responsible for all the horrible experiments and sort of killings of people at Auschwitz. Worst thing to happen to the medical profession until Beverly Alec, I think. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm thinking like I'm trying to turn it into a positive. What can I take from all this and actually spin it a little bit? And all I ended up coming up with was the only way I can get a shag is by keeping someone under lock and key for 24 years. So, despite my want to turn it into a positive, it really played on me, and I ended up having to go to therapy and stuff, and it really bothered me. My therapist said, well, to take your mind off it, why don't you take up a hobby? So I thought, well, I'm a bit cack-handed, I'm normally an IT kind of person, but so why not I take up DIY? You know, that'd be good. Because I'm starting to get concerned that with all these Josephs, it's like a nominative determinism or like a genetic disposition to be an absolutely evil bastard. So I've taken up DIY and I'm all right now. I can wire a plug and, you know, put some plasterboard and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing these days. It's really helping, which reminds me, I'm way off home, so I best get off. I've got a bit of DIY to finish at home, and I want to do it before wife gets back. Before she starts asking questions like, what are you doing down in cellar, and what's that crying about, and why aren't you looking for his daughter that's been missing for 24 years, and whatnot. So I best be off, but thank you very much. You've been a lovely audience, and just leave you with my favourite joke. Again, I've just outlived on this. A misogynist, a homophobe and a racist walk into a pub. Barman says, what will it be, officer? Hey!
One more time for Joseph! Just go in the lad's basement. Okay, so we are rolling towards the end of the evening, and we've got a very special act that's going to go on next. An act that normally does the job that I'm doing, comparing. Pulls the entire evening together. He holds St John's in the palm of his hand every single second Sunday of the month. And he does it very well. He also reminds me a lot of Peter Pan, in the fact that he won't grow up and he hangs around with lost boys. Please welcome to the stage my brother in comedy, Mr. Michael Cook.
Give it up for everybody. Is it all done well? Or as I like to call him, Charlie Manson, if you have to draw him from memory. Well, it usually gets better. You've really got him on side tonight. Okay. I'm gonna follow up some of the shit that Al's been butchering. Do you remember the Michael Caine stuff he did at the beginning? Those micro Caines, in fact. I said a goo-goo, gaga. I said a bloody goo-goo, gaga. It's Michael Caine as a toddler. Alright, some of these are jokes. So yeah, some of you fucking nerds tonight, I couldn't help but notice, we're talking a lot about Tinder and being single and shit like that. Terrible. Honestly, I like to meet I don't use apps. I meet my women organically. And once every blue moon. But no, I did have a friends with benefits. We talked about friends with benefits. I did have one of them. We were both on universal credit. There we go. Some of these are jokes. Yeah. Usually when I MC these shits, I usually just give everyone a report of like what I've been doing the last month. So since I last saw you two, I did that comedy competition in London. I did. And went out for some drinks with my friends, because normally I wear like orangutan trading company stuff. I'm realising I am not wearing that today. However, that is he's like a company sponsor type thing. They sponsor me as a comedian. They got me there. They paid for everything. Da da da. And I was like, as a good Yorkshire boy, I can't take that level of charity. I'm gonna have to buy a round. Like, I'll buy one round. 2 pints, a pint of cider, and a double spiced rum and coke. How much? How much did that cost me? Come on, auctioneers. How much?
£47.50.
£47.50. That's good. You was from down south, weren't you? Before Ali.
Yeah.
How much did that cost? Sure you know.
What was it again, sorry?
It was 2 pints of beer, a pint of cider, and a double spiced rum and coke.
30 quid.
30 quid.
70 quid.
£78.50. Honestly, when she said it to me, it was like the second tower has been hit. Like I was like, honestly, I just had to say, like, can I pay this on Klarna? That's a credit company, whoever put the paper. Didn't I put I came up here with some jokes.
Yeah,
Right, on a piece of
Right jacket pocket.
There we go. That's we need a shirt. No, that's many of them. Oh yeah. Yeah, don't worry about me, bro. Got jokes for days. Got jokes for days. Oh, my fucking holster. Matthew was talking about insects. Do you want to see my impression of a beetle? Is a beetle an insect?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to see my impression of a beetle? Hello there, Michael. Will your jokes still be shit when I'm 64? My impression of a beetle. What else we got? Yeah, Klarna. Oh yeah, bullying. Right, so I'm not from Hull. I'm just stuck here. My accent might have given me away. But, right, so growing up, I was like a bastard child of the M62. My dad was in the army, which meant you just moved house a lot. So I would always try to use things like football to try and like mask my scent, because I was always terrified of being bullied. You know, I'd use football to, like, you know, I'm an alright guy. Kind of like how Philip Schofield used his wife and kids. Right, exactly. Because I was terrified of being bullied, and I'll never forget the day I went to one school, and it was always in a village. I grew up in a village. Anybody else? Give me 6. Boosh! Fucking roasted. Pagans. I thought I could smell them. Anyway, one morning, the first day at school, I got on the bus to go to school. It was very far away, and there's like 3 of us, you know, and we're stopping every now and again to pick up one kid. And this lad, who I've never met before, he's like, "And you knew?" And I was like, yeah. He's like, "Do you like wrestling?" I was like, "I do." He's like, "Do you like football?" I was like, "I do." He's like, "Then you'll be fine." Here, this next kid that gets on, he's the cleverest kid in school. And some fucking blonde lad gets up and sits at the front of the bus. My new best friend picks up a panda pop, fucking lobs it at the back of his head, boof, off the back of his head. He turns around, and my friend says to the cleverest kid in school, "How long's a piece of string?" And that lad turned around and went, "Twice the distance from the middle to the end." And he was right, wasn't he? That's true. That's fucking true. I just never want to get bullied. Moving on swiftly to somehow my paper round. So yeah, like village life, you know, if you wanted to earn any money, £9 a week, paper round. But until like year 11, until your GCSE results came out, I was about this big and weighed about 3 stone wet through. A little midget of a lad. And then all of a sudden I shot up, but I still weighed the same. And I still had my paper round. And I don't know if you guys know about papers, but there's a specific newspaper that comes out one Thursday of every month called the Times Educational Supplement. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Exactly. Well, Barnsley, you see. No teachers in Barnsley. In villages, dozens. And little boys like me, I had to put like 3 tes in one side and 3 tes in the other just to balance me so I could ride my bike. Not worth it. I said a fei-fi, faux fun. I said a fei-fi, faux bloody fun. With Michael Caine's a giant. You already knew that. Michael Caine's a giant.
Here comes the word of an Englishman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's time for a medication.
This bit I've sat on this bit for about a month and I daren't do it, but you know what? It's not gone that well, has it? So fuck it. When you're in the doghouse, double down. That's when you go and have a real fucking go for it. Anyway, right, since I started doing comedy, there's fucking young people in my life now. I never used to fuck around with young people. I used to fuck around with people the same age as me. And the interesting thing, yeah, well, not unlike you, Sunshine, with your muffs in your school. You're lucky I wasn't MC when you were on. We would have had Ofsted in here, mate.
Get a niece.
Get a noose. I don't know, not.
Niece.
Nice. A niece. What has a French capital city, a French city got to do with anything? I never was any good at geology. Can I do this bit? I'm not wearing the fucking hat. I was gonna, but it went. Get me in the slips for Lancashire. It's a cricket joke because of cricket. Remember cricket? Anyway, young people, remember them? I used to fucking around with young people a lot. And these young people these days, because of their phones, they love to diagnose you with tisms. Neurological things. They're like, oh, you've got this because of that. You've got this because of that. And I want to refute some of those claims. So the first one that a young friend of mine said to me, she was like, you've definitely got autism, Michael. I've seen you walking around my flat on your tiptoes. Which is true. I walk on my tiptoes an awful lot. But remember when I talked about my dad being in the army? Yeah, well that's what you had to do if you wanted to record wrestling in the middle of the night. You had to stay on your fucking toes. Because if he came out, he would accuse you of being a closeted homosexual and that this wrestling was the gateway drug to being on your fucking knees. And then the second one is, she said to me, she was like, you've definitely got some fucking spasm. Like Christopher Reeve, I'm proper Superman. No. I'm a walking, talking Stephen Hawking. No. Subtitles. I like watching shit with subtitles on. Now, I don't want to flex on anyone, but I have an A-level in film. So when I have the subtitles on, it's not tism. I am reading the script. So that one day, I may write Snakes on a Plane 6. And I fuck it, whatever. And then she finally said to me, she was like, Michael, do you know what is a real strong sign of megatism? I was like, what? She was like, just overcoming up with explanations for the most minor details. And that was supposed to be the bit where I usurped my... It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's all got to be new. And I don't know why I bother, because only about 3 people in here who actually know my excellent jokes. But fuck it. I'm a good Catholic boy and I'm a martyr for my art. And I'll fall down on my sword. Would you like a final Michael Caine?
Yeah.
If you want a final Michael Caine, give me an OI. You're in Yorkshire, lad, fucking OI. What do you call an artificial intelligence company in Yorkshire? OI. See, they had it every fucking month. Anyway. No. You sound like my friend with benefits. Trust me, love, it's twice the distance from the middle to the end. That was very good, actually. I'll save that. I'm chuffed with that callback. Oh, yeah, anyway, what Michael Caine's didn't we do? I said a bloody two-it.
Well, we got to kick the bloody door down.
That's not even the line. If you're gonna do the fucking line, you were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
That's it, but we...
Yeah, that is it, isn't it?
Yeah,
So I've got an A-level in film.
Yeah, but we kicked
I'm an educated man and I've got lead in Barnsley.
We kicked the...
I loved you in Rocky 4, by the way. I said a bloody two-it to Michael Caine as an owl.
Well done, Michael. This is why people don't come back. Have you enjoyed yourself this evening?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, we're now going to decide who wins the prizes, then I'm going to get the final act on. So, the best audience member in the room who wins the Chaz and Dave single goes to Pat, because she has travelled all this way to come and watch us do absolutely. Now, Michael.
Yeah, that's easy. This is dead easy.
Okay, you get to pick the winner of the best joke of the evening.
The best joke of the evening was...
Yep.
So I work at a school.
There we go. Fantastic. I did like, obviously you were talking about sort of being a Catholic schoolboy, and then we had cricket, and it made me sort of think about the Vatican, because they've obviously just started a brand new cricket team. And it is the first time that the priests won't get in trouble with playing with small balls. That's the only joke I'm doing before I bring on Lucas Whiting, ladies and gentlemen, bring it down! Is that it?
That's literally your entire interview.
That was the intro, was it?
That's it. That's all you're getting.
That was very poor. Which is why I've written my own intro.
Right.
There may be more later, so. Comedy intro. He jokes a lot and he's smoking hot. Pause for applause. He's well endowed but not too loud. He's close to perfection but sometimes struggles to get an erection. He's slightly pissed and he's never been kissed.
Oh.
I have. He's quite handsome, but nobody's paying his ransom. He got the bus in, so get ready for cussing. He was here last time, and boy, can he rhyme! He's running out of ideas, so cheers! He's slender but tender. He's wiry but fiery. You love to know him, and you hate to hate him. Ladies and gentlemen, give a raucous applause for a man who was once described as funnier when he's not talking. He's got a face for radio and a voice for mime. He's another straight white man with a microphone. Lucas Whitey! That's a fucking intro. Okay, I can afford a phone. I'm not writing on my hands like some desperate people here. So. Where's the whistle there, guys? Come on. Giant slide. It's not ironic because I'm Rick to fuck. That's a heavy microphone stand. Here we go. We're starting now, officially. What does a penguin take to get stronger?
I don't know.
Just the one of you. Everyone else knows, do they? Just you. Polaroids. Polaroids. Just the one as well. Come on, everyone else. Fucking hell. I was like 3. It wasn't a great improvement, but you know, we'll get better. We'll get better. What does a tailor take to get stronger?
I don't know.
Thank you. This guy.
Rather than me.
Yeah. Mr. Original over there, just copy this guy here. Anyway, what does a tailor take to get stronger? Hemorrhoids. I just realised my harmonica's in my pocket, so I'm going to get that, because people who've seen me before know I do a harmonica. Bit of physical comedy as well, the microphone stand isn't actually so heavy. I was in Giant Live. It's alright, Michael, I know which pocket my harmonica's in, so. That's a nice little call back for you there, thank you.
The broom bucket.
Thank you for singing the thunder there. Like, let's get the instructions out. So you blow into it. anything hot in it. Yeah. Comedy poem, here we go. Let's go for this one. I got the idea for this one earlier. I was watching the sign language on the replay of the Winter Olympics. It reminded me of a comedy idea I had of deaf people signing porn. Here we go. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. How do you sign an orgasm or two? Personally, I don't have a clue. Maybe I'll ask that pool cue. I know the alphabet and sign language, and that's about it. Conversations take more than a minute. How do you sign an orgasm or two? Two's an example, but you could have more too. 3 or 4, 5 or 6. Okay, Bonnie Blue. How's the signer going to keep up with you? Last verse now, so don't worry. How do you sign an orgasm or two? Personally, I don't have a clue. A foot fetish works if you take off your shoe. Ghosts don't exist, but if you believe in them... Boo! I lost my mood ring the other day and I'm not quite sure how to feel about it. Sometimes I do struggle with anxiety, so people always come up to me and ask why I'm a bit standoffish. But then when I go to the sea and stand on fish, people always ask what I'm doing, so I can't win. There's been a lot of talk of dating apps. I recently got rid of all mine, so no more dating apps for me. The only issue is I don't know what month it is, so you know, a bit of an issue there, but just noticed I got a burn on my hand. Oh, that's gone. But, one of the perks of the job. You're a participant.
I am, yes.
How do you make a smooth candle?
I don't know, how do you make a candle?
You use Brazilian wax.
Very good.
Thank you. Feed the ego, please. This chair don't come.
From 1999.
You may have noticed I put a bolo tie on now, because always trying to accessorise. Oh. I was looking out the window the other day and I was looking out the window the other day and the window blew shut. It was a real pain in my neck. Bit tight now, isn't it? I recently matched on Tinder with an American woman, but I wasn't quite sure what state she's from. This is shit, I guess Alaska. Anyone here got a tattoo? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you I'd want them.
There's Mickey Mouse on the thigh, yeah. Is it Mickey Mouse or?
No!
Couldn't afford the rights.
A mouse.
I've been debating getting a tattoo. You know, on one hand, in the right one. Here we go. I recently met a cow who was very stuck in its ways. I got down on my knees and tried to convince it to become a leather jacket. But you know, I tried and tried, it just wouldn't be swayed. We'll go for another comedy poem. Way. This one's for you, bug boy. Don't interrupt me, please. Professional at work here. Not professional. Oh. It's called Incognito Mosquito, and I tried to find it. Search thing is not working. Maybe the hand was the better idea. I'll tell you a few jokes that I'm searching for, just to smooth things over. I was doing a bit of research the other day, and it turns out my forefather's main language was French. Ooh. My mum's been married quite a few times. So. Forefathers. Yes, good stuff, Lucas. Good stuff. I was recently diagnosed with a dire ear infection. It's embarrassing, it really. My doctor says it's because I've been listening to my music too loud. Sorry, no, a dire ear infection. Sorry, not a diarrhea infection. Still looking. This is embarrassing, isn't it? We're nearly there. We're nearly there. That's the same joke I just said. We'll do a poem while we're waiting. It's called Global Warming Ain't Cool. Global warming, it ain't cool. Global warming didn't stay in school. No more ice left on the rocks. Giant holes in all my socks. Global warming ain't cool. Global warming, it ain't fresh. Global warming failed the test. No more snow left on the tundra. No more matches on the tinder. Global warming ain't cool. Global warming didn't pass. Global warming will still last. No more polar bears, they're all gone. Oh wait, I just saw one. Global warming ain't cool. Oh. That wasn't stalling at all, was it? You know what? It was called Incognito Mosquito. Just imagine how good it was from my other place. Because I can't find it. I was in a supermarket the other day, and I was dealing with a deaf cashier, and my trousers fell down. So she stood up and started doing this, like cashier at like just a supermarket. I didn't realise it at the time, but as we were walking home I was just realising she was trying to convey a belt. We shall do one last comedy poem, and then I shall leave you all, which is quite sad, but you know, you've been a wonderful audience, so I'll go for I will go for your new favourite poet, which is one that I wrote when I realised how good I was at common poetry. There is some audience participation, so here we go. Is the harmonica getting old now?
No.
Not for you.
No.
This is for you then.
More harmonica.
You say you like Shakespeare, but that's a mistake, dear. You say you like Ted Hughes, but I got news for you. You say you like Wordsworth, but there isn't much worse. You say you like Browning, but that ain't a now thing. I'm your new favourite poet. I'll make sure you know it. I'll be sure to show it. Sure hope I don't blow it. I'm your new favourite poet. You say you like Shelley, is it Percy or Mary? You say you like Duffy, but that ain't the stuff. See, you say you like Kipling, but you must be tripping. You say you like Angela, but that ain't up to you. I'm your new favourite poet. I'll make sure you know it. I'll be sure to show it. Sure hope I don't blow it. I'm your new favourite poet. You say you like Poe, but I might as well go. You say you like Whitman, but that ain't the shit, man. You say you like Tennyson, but I ain't got no penny, son. You say you like Frost, but at what cost? I'm your new favourite poet. I'll make sure you know it. I'll be sure to show it. Sure hope I don't blow it. I'm your new favourite poet. You say you like Wild, but that's far too mild. You say you like Bloods, but you do the maths. You say you like Cohen, I guess you don't know. Then let me fill you in. I'm your new favourite poet. I'm your new favourite poet. I'll make sure you know it. I'll be sure to show it. Sure hope I don't blow it. I'm your new favourite poet. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience.
Yeah, that's fine. One more time for Luke's writing. Thank you very much for everyone who came out tonight to watch a bit of comedy. Like it means a lot that anyone comes out to watch it. Although most of the audience have now come out of the room, and I'm just talking to Axe, so I'm just going to turn this way. Please make a lot of noise for the people you've seen tonight. You've seen Harry Levo, especially the kick, thank you. You've seen Adam, who brought the muff. You've seen Tracy, who terrified us with the pussy. And you've seen Rambling Sam, who gave us the new songs. Matthew, who brought us the fucking bugs. We have Ali over there, who really fucking got me. I love that shirt, my man. We've got Josef going in space, so Michael Cook will be doing the fucking MC next week. And Lucas, who gets better every time I see him. I've been out. This has been fucking Steve Jones. Have a nice evening.